I'm coming to Maryland. Yes, let me before we get started. First of all, grab your real estate agent journal. I'm doing a reboot. I just need a minute. I need like a minute. Turn to page 60. We're gonna take notes there. If you don't have it, you can support me. It's $10 on Amazon. And you can also get the socially savvy agent so you can go live and create reels and all that great stuff. So for those of you that kind of want my schedule, next Tuesday, I'll be in Michigan. Like Great Haven area. So right off of the Lake Michigan. And then I'm coming to Georgia. May 13th, I'll be speaking to small brokerages and then mid-sized brokerages. Even if you don't have a brokerage, you might as well come hang out. I think I need to work out. I'm going to go speak at another agent's office, but maybe we need to do something Saturday in Georgia. And then I'm coming to Maryland for the legislative meetings. So Hope Mim, if you're watching, shout out to you. We need to do something on Friday. I think it's Friday, like the 6th, I think. There might be a cap on how many people you can share this with. So yeah, you might be true. It might, so we don't spam everyone here on Instagram. Right. So if you're watching on Facebook, thank you for joining me. I will switch screens so I can kind of watch the chat. For those of you that are watching, yes, thank you for joining me. Right. You know, we like to say not busy, scheduled. We like to say we're scheduled. We like to say we're scheduled. Right. So good morning. Good morning. Grab your agent journal. Some of you have it. Leslie, you better have one. I'm on page 60, and we're going to talk about my top or my favorite lead generation tools. Some of you know we're getting realist back, but I'll talk about that one in a moment. So shout out to all things real estate. So if you, and some of you just saw my feed that you know we're licensed in Florida. We've been licensed since like January, but it took a minute to get the company license. And I'm not saying Florida is backwards. Maybe Illinois is backwards. But it took a minute. So we got the company license. And I know some of you are like, Carrie, I want to come work for you. Give me a minute. Because I need E&O insurance. Like, give me a minute. Like, first of all, I don't even know how you guys write contracts. And things are in escrow. But you got me. I used to be a paralegal. So there's some things I know how to do. So give me a minute. For those of you that are in the agent journey, thank you so much for supporting me here. For those of you that are Caremark agents, thank you. And so you guys get bonuses. All right, so here we go. My favorite lead generation tools, and I'm going, as much as I want to say social media, some of you know I've been playing in a real estate sandbox now since 1997, and I'm traditional. And I know that direct mail still works. So I'm going to start there. I'll tie in social media. Some of you, you know who you are. We're watching all of the reality shows. You're seeing, even my photos look nice. And people think I'm somebody. Now, I am somebody, right? But there's something about doing professional photos and professional video shoots that really does take you to a whole new level. So I get that. So besides that, and I know Nicey is doing a photo shoot. I'm like, Nicey, should I book? Do you want me to come too? She's like, give me a minute. So, but anyway, so as I talk to you today, you know what I tell you, everything works if you work, right? Everything works if you work. You got to get up, get dressed, and get out the door. Everything works if you work. And sometimes as agents, we don't realize it might take you a little bit longer if you're new. It might take you a little bit longer if you're new. So here we go. We're going to start traditional, and I'm going to put them in order. And I'm going to say your number one, my favorite way to generate leads is your network. So we're going to start there. Your network. So if you're taking notes around page 60, which you probably should be past page 60 by now, there is no inbox in real estate, right? There is no inbox. You got to create the inbox. And some of you could be top producers in a year if you just work really hard. One of my agents, and so here, let me tell all of you this. Hey, Leslie. Let me say all of this to you. Shout out to Hope Mims. You know, Hope Mims comes up with some cool ideas. And one of her ideas was secure the bag. So I'm like, I got to do this. So we're doing it bingo style. And in our office, here's what I figured out with the agents is folks like stuff. I like the win but I don't have to win. What does that mean? I like it when my agents close their first deal, or when my agents become, they're doing over 5 million. Like, to me, that's like, yes, yes, you've done it. So even today, when I talk to you about your sphere of influence and I talk to you about a lot of the tools that I use, you got to figure out what motivates you. You have to figure out what motivates you. And once you figure out what motivates you, it will change the game of real estate. So here's what I did. So during our office retreat, I introduced Secure the Bag. And the Secure the Bag is, and I don't even have one, and I'm not competing, is the YSL bag. There's a certain dollar limit. And so one of my agents, she was like, Carrie, I've been cold calling. I went to the Zillow Killer event. I didn't even go in yet because I had phone calls to make first. And she has already got 4 or 5 new listings from cold calling. And that's not one of my favorite lead generation tools. But remember what I said, everything works if you work. Everything works if you work. And I'm like, I almost said her name. What's motivating you? She was like, Carrie, I want to win the bag. I was like, really? We want to win the bag? She was like, yep, I want to win the bag. I know which bag and I know which color, and I'm winning this bag. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Show me you can win this bag. Secure the bag. So some of you might need to put something in front of you. My vision board is somewhere in my office. I need to make a new one. Some of you might need a vision board. Some of you are motivated by what you see, I'm going to tell you, sometimes you can't be motivated by what you see, but some of you do need to have it in front of you. Some of you, because I did this, and some of you know the story. I went into my bathroom and I took a marker and, a dry erase marker, and I wrote on my mirror, and I was like, Caremark agents close deals. My kids are successful. My kids have favor with their teachers. Like, this is me, right? I pray for my family. Sometimes you got to see it to be consistent with doing it. Now, I've since wiped that off because my husband kept giving me the eye, but maybe I'll go back and do it, and I'll show you literally what I did. I wrote it right on the medicine cabinet, and it makes you remember. And and shout out to Sarah Ware. Sarah Ware was like, Carrie, tell me your best day. Like, what does your best day look like? And I was like, okay, my best day is like, I get up in the morning, and even this morning, I was like, I'm getting up at 5:30. Nope, got up at 6:30. I'm telling you, it's hard. It's really hard. I have to take an energy drink. So my best day is I get up, I open up the word, and there's a reading of the day, and I read. Then there's some other things that might happen, right, that you don't care to know. I might get coffee, but then I work out, and then and I eat breakfast, and that's a great start to my day. Some of you would even feel better if you just walked down the block. Get a dog. No, maybe don't get a dog. So let's jump into it. So I need all of you, if you're taking notes, write down what's going to motivate me. And maybe it is that Louis Vuitton bag. Now, I'm all for write down Louis Vuitton bag and write down how much it is, whatever it is. I was looking at belts. I was like, ooh, no wonder I bought this Tory belt. Yeah, I struggle. I really do struggle with spending all that money. My hair is really big, isn't it? I just washed it. So anyway, write down what it is. And then when you write down that the Louis bag is like $4,000, what's that ostrich bag? Like 10 grand, write that down. And then when you get the money, I want you to write down, do I really want the bag, or do I really want to invest in real estate? Because some of us are, this is what we think. And yesterday I had the privilege of talking to the National Association of Hispanic Realtors, North Shore Network. And when we talked, when I started, I was like, when we watch social media, because we were talking about social media lead generation, we think that all of the agents that have, such an awesome, I need a Kleenex. I need my husband to be here. We think that all of these agents are successful because they have great photo shoots. I have a nice photo shoot, but it doesn't mean that I'm super successful. Success really, if you were to look, what does my bank account look like? Although I do think professional photos and professional videos help. All right. Here we go. Let's jump in. So number one, my favorite lead generation tools. Your number one should be your sphere. Now we can get into, you don't have a sphere, you don't have any friends, you don't have anyone, but really it is your network. Your net worth is in your network. If you don't have a huge network, you need to work on building that, but it doesn't mean your friends, it doesn't mean your family. It could be your network. but it also means your friends and your family. And we know friends and family don't always trust us, because I had someone recently, I thought I had the deal and they listed with someone else. Yeah, I was like, I own the company. I can do what I want with the compensation. Still listed with someone else. Sometimes people don't want you in their business, but they want you to give them all the information. I forgive them. Okay, I forgive them. Here we go. So that's your number one. Your number two is, and this is in my order, it doesn't have to be your order. But number two, I'm going to go with my MLS. And I'm keeping this simple because all of us have access to the MLS if you're a licensed real estate agent. If you're not a licensed real estate agent, your sphere of influence, this is good. This is where you need to be. Hey, just me, Chrissy. Yeah, that's good. So your MLS, your multiple listing service. Some of you need to figure out how to use it. Some of you, I challenged the group yesterday and they had well over 60 people. There could have been 80. Some of you need to take a second and go learn how to use your MLS. We get in there, we putz around, we just look, but you don't really understand the true value. So when I say my MLS, here we go. In my MLS, I can go look up the cancels and the expires, right? Cancels and expires. And I'm writing because I didn't write this down, but this I can just do off the cuff. Cancels and expires. So if you were to look at cancels and expires every day and you wrote a handwritten note to the cancels and expires and say, hey, I see your home is no longer being actively marketed. When you decide to interview new agents, I would love to be a part of the process, because we know that most sellers think they should go back to the same person that they really didn't like because that real estate agent didn't work like you work. And I'm absolutely amazed at some of you. And let me just say this and I'll get back. For those of you that are listing agents and you go, a property goes under contract, please, as a courtesy, text or email every every agent that wrote an offer and just say, thank you so much for your offer. My sellers did accept another offer. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Let me know if you want to be a backup offer. That's simple. Just as a courtesy, you should have seen my husband. He was hot. Why? Because the buyer called him and said, hey, the property's under contract. What happened? And he didn't know, because buyers are looking, they're shopping more than you are because they need a house. So please, just follow up, and it'll keep people from calling you wondering why you didn't call them. All right. So your MLS cancels and expires, send a handwritten note. The other thing with cancels and expires is you could use a hot sheet. Depending on your market, it could be called something else. I'll let you know what it's called in Florida once I get access today, maybe Monday, because I'm going to pay my fees for the Orlando Association. So the hot sheet for us in Illinois, I can look at everything that's canceled, expired, and what's new, and I can compare it. And I can go back 0 days, so today, all the way back to 14 days. So the cancels and expires. Oh, but wait till I get to Realist. Coming back to Illinois. It's in Florida. So I was like, oh, loving this. So the hot sheet. Look at the hot sheet every single day. And some of you are like, well, Carrie, I have so many clients, I don't have the ability to look at this every day. Stop. If you're not lead generating, what's going to happen in 30 days when your deals close, or in 60 days when your deals close? You must always be lead generating. So even though I've only told you two, which are your sphere of influence, your network, right? Your net worth is in your network. And number two, I put down your multiple listing service, and then little, so that's number two, but A and B, your cancels and expires, and the hot sheet. Here's the third one, C, right? You can use, and I know every MLS is different. In our MLS, we have the ability to look up, we have the ability to look at rentals. So I can take my renters and make them buyers. And let me just really break it down. So I can go to my search option that says residential rental. And I can look for everyone that needs to make a decision in 90 days, maybe even a year out, because I'm building my pipeline now for 2023. Man, I need an assistant. Anybody want to just be my assistant and not sell real estate? You'd be the baddest real estate agent by the time you got done if you just followed me around all day. And I paid you? Come on. I'm going to get like 10 DMs today. So, but you'd have to work for me. I'm just saying. So you could use residential rental. And let me just, I'm going to tell you how. I should have picked a date and did this like live. I'll pick a date after the lashes appointment, the nail appointment, and meeting with someone that's running for office. That's what we're gonna do. So watch. So I'm gonna teach all of you. We'll do it with my agents. So residential rentals, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go into your multiple listing service, look for anyone that rented out something last year, 90 days from today. So if today is April 15th, not tax day, that's Monday, right? April 15th. So May 15th, June 15th, July 15th. So July 15th through today. So write this down, because I'm going fast. You're going to have to come back and watch the replay. And I am streaming in Real Estate Live, so you can go get the horizontal view. Write this down. So July 15th, 2021. You got to go back to last year. Can't predict the future. If I can, I'd be out of here because I'd be picking the lottery numbers. So July 15th, 2021. Write this down. Then what I want you to do is put down the end date is going to be April 15, 2022. And then I want you to pick a few cities. Like if you picked in my market, Naperville, Aurora, or Joliet, some of the larger cities, you're going to have at least 500, specifically in Naperville, potential buyers. So, and then what I want you to do is do that every month. So next month, you're going to, instead of July 15th, you're going to go to August 15th. And then the following month, you're going to go to from July, August, then you go to September 15th. And then when you go to September 15th, you're going to run that all the way through. So instead of April, May, June, you're going to run September 15th through June 15th of 2022. Some of you are like, well, Carrie, but why would I do that? Because you're building your pipeline for 2023. If I could convince all of you to work like you work for somebody else that gave you a paycheck. Let me say it again. Some of you get up, get dressed, and go to work. Some of you are here and you got your AirPods in and you're at somebody else's job and they're paying you and they're telling you what to do because you're convinced that this is hard. It's not hard. It's called work. If I could convince you to do this. Oh, so for my dual career, just do it. Just do it. And then you're like, well, Carrie, I'm a nurse. I work Monday through Friday. I can't answer the phone. When someone does call you, refer it to somebody else, refer it and get a percent. Like start building your pipeline today for what? 2023. Yeah, there you go. Once I do that, I send them something, right? Oh, with a referral, you gotta, this is right now, I'm on direct mail. I haven't even talked about social media, but let's just go with, I gave you two ways to generate leads, but under number 2, I said cancels and expires, the hot sheet cancels and expires. And then I said residential rental, and I told you what to do. And then you come create these awesome reels because there's a few agents that did the 31-day challenge with us that did some awesome reels. Let me tell you, now they come find you on social media and then they know you're credible. We could be done. Like we could literally be done. We could literally be done. Yeah. And then Mina's saying to do the bot, a robot in your, first of all, people pay for bots. You can have an Instagram bot and a Facebook bot, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. You just need to slow down and take a minute to learn. Pick up business development day. So here it is. Every Friday, business development day from 9 to 10 with Carrie on Coffee with Carrie. And then you take a couple of hours and you learn something new. And if you're like, Carrie, Friday's hard because I got to plan out my showings. Get up early. What do you got to do? What do we have to do? I mean, that was like just 2 ways in your MLS. Now I could just make your heads hurt and I'll just put in a D, right? Here we go. Some of you need to, in your MLS, figure out how to create customized reports because you can in my MLS, and I can go figure out the agents that list a lot. Anyone here a top producer doing more than 4 million? Tell me. 5 million? Anyone? Tell me. In 5 million, some of you are like, well, top producers do 30. You do 5 million, you're probably doing at least 100,000. So you're like that, I'm doing good. So here's the question. Top producers stop showing up to class. So let me just tell you what to go do. Go to your MLS, create a custom report. Go follow the top producers, create a custom report with the top producers in your neighborhood. Watch what they do. Watch to see when the property goes on the market and when it expires or cancels. Now I know we're in a seller's market, but eventually in a seller's market, we'll go back to stable and then buyer. You need to learn how agents list. I can tell you right now, at least 2 agents, how many days their houses are listed for. And I know what companies they work for. And I'm like, is this a trend? So I figured out the trend. I figured out that if I were to really come back and work and play in the sandbox with all of you, because we have 32 agents, it's hard to manage agents, pay bills. I don't pay the bills. Somebody else gets to do that, and the accountant. So, and office staff. I'm working on it. Because I did take on a listing and I was like, oh, this is too hard. It's hard to manage an office and sell. It is really hard. I try. If you guys just did that, man, you'd be, come on. Like I said, some of you are moonlighting, you're listening on your AirPods, you're listening to me, and you're trying to figure out how to play in the sandbox. I just told you. If you literally worked your sphere of influence, told them, made an announcement on social media today, remind people, maybe you should do something every Thursday at like 7:00 at night on Instagram and Facebook to remind everyone, hey, I just want to let you know I'm in the business of real estate. And did you know, as of today, this is happening. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, I have some of the best loan officers that you should talk to today. Like, what if every Thursday was your remind your network that they should be working with you? Like, that could be a thing. And then so number one is your sphere. Number two is your MLS. And I told you cancels, expires, hot sheets, residential rental. And then I'm telling you to follow the top producers to see what they do, right? Because you guys aren't watching. You could probably quit your regular job if you did this consistently, because guess what? The person you work for is giving you your job. They're telling you what to do every day, Monday through Friday. So here we go. Thank you, Lori, on Facebook. Thank you. All right. So here's my number three. And I could stay in the MLS for hours. So in Remind, so I'm going to go with Remind, then I'm going to talk about Realist too, because I now have Realist because I'm in Florida and it's coming back to Illinois. So Remind. Let's go back to this business builder thing I talked to you about in residential rental. So I told you to go after buyers. Now you have this list that you downloaded from your MLS. Oh, wait for it. Realtor Ruthie, thank you. Here we go. You downloaded this list from Naperville, Illinois. You got 300 potential buyers. Guess what they are? That's also your list for. You can mail to the current resident from Remind. You could download the list, upload it to Remind, and you could take this list and now get the landlord's information. And now you have a list of potential investors. Oh, wait. So you could relist a property for rent or for sale and find that tenant a house to buy. You got 2 deals out of 1. We're done. Right? Some of you are like, what, Carrie? Yeah, we're done. Like we're not really done, but I think you get my point. I want to make sure I'm on the right mic over here on Facebook. So yeah, like there's absolutely no reason why you can't do this business. But wait, let's go back to Remind. Remind, real estate data mining, a tool that many of you get. Some of you might have to pay for it, but I'm all for just do the first 2 and not pay for it. Here we go. Remind. You can also, some of you, did you watch my video on YouTube, how to generate leads? If you're in the agent journey and you're in a Caremark agent, I gave you the full strategy with a PowerPoint presentation, and it was the 10-minute mastery. So if you missed it, I think I streamed it yesterday. No, I didn't stream that one yet. But anyway, it's on the website. So if you're a member, you got the full version. But if you at least go to YouTube, I give you strategy on how to do the direct mail. So in Remind, now you have a new listing. Listing agents, we're not listless, right? Listing agents have the opportunity to make so much more money from one listing. So you get your listing, assuming you're fast, right? You get your listings, you have your photos. First listing goes out coming soon. First direct mail. So write this down, write fast. Can you guys hear me? Make sure you tell me. Can you hear me? Did I disappear? I want to make sure. Oh, we can hear. Okay. So Cayenne, jump off. Okay. So people can hear. All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you, if you have a listing, I want you to take your listing, do a coming soon, first postcard, coming soon. Number 2, I want you to, once it goes live, I want you to say just listed, have it ready to go. Number 3, once it goes under contract, I want you to send a under contract postcard. Now I'm spending your money, but some of you don't realize the value in. If you had to spend, let's just say it was $300 doing this. The 4th mailer is, how many offers did you get before it went under contract? Oh, you said 20? And only 1 person bought it. The next mailer is, so let me say it again. First mailer coming soon. Second mailer just listed. Third mailer is under contract. Fourth mailer is, we had 20, we have 19 people looking to live in this area. If you're thinking about selling, call me so we can get your home ready for the marketplace. And then you might put in a bottom note, say, are you afraid to sell because you can't find anything? Ask me about negotiating a rent back. Are you getting this? Wait a minute. Number five, just sold. I give you 5 ways to market a listing in Remind. We still have offers, only able to accept one, right? We still have offers, only able to accept one. And you know those backup offers are probably like golden. So did you get 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm telling you, that's where your money, can I say, is that where the money resides? I think it's trademarked. But I think you get it. I think you get it. Here, I'm going to repeat it. And I didn't even write it down. So somebody do this with me. Hey, Bianca, I'll upload the replay to Workplace. So number 1, if you have a listing, you have a new listing, first mailer coming soon. If you're in my market, private listing, right? Coming soon. Second mailer, new listing. Third mailer, under contract. And this is probably happening like within 3 weeks. Fourth mailer. We have this many more buyers still looking in this area. And that's the fourth mailer, because you got 20 offers and only one person could buy the house, right? And maybe you put a little note at the bottom that says, are you afraid to sell your home because you have nowhere to go? Let us help you negotiate a rent back, right? Can't be more than like 60 days. Don't get too creative. Then, so yeah, thank you, D. Then your number 5 is just sold. Just sold. Wait a minute. You could somewhere, it could be the number 6. The number 6 could be that you do a mailer that shows the market data. And here's where social media and YouTube kick in your reels. You do a video on YouTube, or you do a video on Facebook, or you do a video on Instagram, or you tell everybody you're going to go live to talk about the market, come and get your questions answered. And then there's a replay that they can always see, or you could just go record it and send them the replay. Come on. You could take over a neighborhood. So my new agents that you're like, yep, there's the market data. My new agents that are like, well, Carrie, Tina's been selling, or Tom, or Mary, or Kara has been selling in my market for. Oh, Mark's in the house. Uh-oh. Right. You can take over a marketplace because sometimes the consumer is looking for someone new. And, they just might like your marketing better. Don't assume your neighbors are going to pick you just because you walk the neighborhood and you say you're a real estate agent. Because you heard my story. There are agents, there are sellers that will pick you because of the mailers. And remember, baby boomers, silent generation, and some of us Gen Xers need to see that you're a professional. It's not about social media for them. It's not. 6 touches per listing at least. Business is definitely coming from that. It is. It is. And wait a minute, Carrie, I forgot one. Open house. Wait, let me go back. Let me add 2 more. Coming soon. Second mailer to the neighbors. Exclusive preview. Oh, then you said just listed. Then there's an open house. You could do just listed and an open house at the same time. Carrie, how can I get you as a guest on my podcast? Send me a DM. Direct message. Talk to my husband, Mark. No. Yeah, send me a direct message. info@smartgirlmedia.com. So here we go. And I just told you how to market, but let's just go back to Remind. Real estate data mining, for those of you that have it. If you don't have it, it's okay, because some of you have HomeSnap, and I'll go to HomeSnap next. And I've been talking for 36 minutes, and all of you know that I can talk by myself. My husband will grab my hand if I'm talking too much. I might get kicked under the table, because I could easily take over a conversation. Pray for me. Here we go. So Remind, you have all of these filters that you can use. You can do, likely to sell or high sell score. You could look at, right now you got pre-foreclosures and distressed properties in some of your areas like Orlando. I'm watching because there's a lot of pre-foreclosures. Here I come. So you can, in Remind, do sell score. You could look at pre-foreclosures. You could look at absentee owners. Wait a minute. How about you live in Illinois and you're in Oak Park and you look at Oak Park and you have a buyer? Because right now, millennials, you know, one of ours sent us a text and said, millennials would rather be unemployed than unhappy. You guys know, I know that's not all millennials, but that's what they said. But they want to build wealth because they're going to be richer than us because they want someone to clean their house. They're watching Selling Sunset and Ladies That List and Selling Tampa, and they're watching, you know, the Atlanta Housewives. Listen, it's painful for me to watch, but I watch so I can at least have a conversation about it. They want to be rich. So I'm going to listen, this is for all of you that want to be rich. Here we go. Let me give you a tip. Go to your neighborhoods, especially neighborhoods that have multi-units. Oak Park, Illinois. Go to Oak Park, Illinois and Remind. Find all of the multi-units, maybe two flat, three flat, put in the number of bedrooms, and then do has no mortgage. Then you can go to absentee owner. Oh, I can find all of the absentee owners that live in Florida, but they own in Illinois, in all of Illinois. And now I have a niche because I'm licensed in Florida and Illinois. Whether I know what I'm doing in Florida yet or not. I see you. No, not as many pre-foreclosures yet, but I'll tell you in Remind, and Kara, send me a DM because I'm going to look up your neighborhood. There are pre-foreclosures. They just haven't hit the market. Remind, like you, and let me just give you a tip for those of you that have Remind. Now, I need to give a disclaimer. You cannot market to someone's active listing, but Remind will tell you what to do every single day. I can go in Remind. I can pull St. Charles, Naperville, Broadview, Bellwood, Maywood, Libertyville, Tinley Park. I can pull every area, Romeoville. I could pull in Orland Park, Mokina, Kankakee, Champaign. Like we cover a huge marketplace. I can go pull all of these areas, choose the active listings. Let me tell you how to take over a market. I can pull all of the active listings. Oh, this goes back to cancels and expireds. And I can watch the cancels and expires. And if I go to my settings and Remind, I can get a daily email update. And in this daily email update, it tells me what's changed. So I can look at grab my coffee because it has a coffee cup on it on Remind. And I can look at what went from active to canceled because I can watch all of the actives. And then Remind sends me an email daily. Right. Can I move to New Jersey and open up here? Oh, you know what? I don't want to. It's just cold air. Maybe let's talk. I got to pass a test. I'm going to have to pass a whole test. I'm a terrible test taker. I got to memorize everything. I've been challenged to go back to law school or to go to law school. I had an attorney say, just go to law school, Carrie. You can quit and come work with me in my spare time. She was like, don't get your doctorate, get your law degree. Anyway, in my spare time. All right. Okay. So now we talked a little bit about Remind. I could go on and on about Remind. Like I could go on and on. So we need another class. I did have to take a test for those of you that are asking me about Florida. Illinois is reciprocal, but it's reciprocity. The difference is I had to take a 40-question test. I passed it on the first time. Ask in the feed. Ask Mark how many times it took him. Okay, here we go. I was going to go to Realist, but I'm going to go to HomeSnap first, and then I'll go to Realist, and then I'll do social media, and then we'll do Q&A. HomeSnap. Anyone have HomeSnap? Anyone have HomeSnap? Not HomeSnap Pro Plus, just HomeSnap Pro. Just HomeSnap Pro. Here we go. I'm going to tell you how to generate leads. So on your mobile device, this is an iPod. You guys, have you seen one of these? On your mobile device, go open HomeSnap. I don't even know if HomeSnap's on here. Oh, it is. Let's see if I can open it. On HomeSnap. Oh, I hope I can do it because I can't switch my phone. Okay, so when you open HomeSnap, there's an option. It says for sale, for rent. Oh, here it is. I'm optimistic about the market. Here we go. And then at the top, let's click. I'm going to zoom in to my neighborhood. And then, oh, I need to update this. So there's an option for sale, for rent, and then there's one more, like all of them, whatever that one is. The third option at the top. You can at the bottom, there's a heat map that tells you likely to list. All of you today. So I need, yeah, we need, so my agent journey folks, I know I did a 10-minute video for all of you. So I showed you how to do this. So we need like a live class on HomeSnap. So this is what I need all of you to do. Go break out the handwritten note cards, go get the note cards. And I want all of you today. And if you're like, Carrie, I can't write, whatever the reason, go get a report, write a letter with less than 3 sentences, get it in the mail today, handwrite the envelope and say in the letter, dear homeowner, did you know that the market has shifted? We are still in, that market hasn't shifted. We're still in the seller's market. And in our neighborhood, homes are selling for X amount over and inventory is this low. So you can go look up likely to list. And I bet all of you could get 10 in the mail. 10 in the mail today. Did Mark tell you what his answer was? I think I had some leverage because I'm an instructor. Okay, heat maps. Yes, the heat maps. Thank you. Yeah, bottom left. Thank you, Janine. HomeSnap. But let's just take HomeSnap to another level. All of you today should go to HomeSnap, click on me in the bottom right-hand corner and share your HomeSnap link. Here's your post. Remind people that you're in the business of real estate. Share your HomeSnap link and say, are you having trouble finding a home? Go to my HomeSnap app, download it today and shop. Shop now. Doing it today. Okay, here we go. You got it? Everyone got that? HomeSnap. And wait a minute, when you mail, put your link in here. I didn't even say this. Every marketing piece you do, you should add your Cloud CMA, what's my home worth link. Don't have a Cloud CMA, what's my home worth link? Use a Google form and tell people to fill out the form and you will send them a quick market analysis. Don't say CMA, say market analysis. You got to do something to get the inbound lead, right? Right. Okay, so that's HomeSnap. Realist. I don't even have Realist, but I will never, ever, ever forget Realist. I will never forget Realist. So in Realist, first of all, just like in Remind, you can do a map rubber band, can't even talk, around certain neighborhoods. So let me give you a tip. When you're in Realist, here's what a lot of people don't know. When you put in a certain property down at the bottom and you're looking at the report, you get all of the schools, you get the private schools, you get the public sector, you get all of the businesses in the area. And Mina and I talked about this last Friday. Some of you don't realize that you should be mailing to the local schools, the principals, and the school district, and send them a market update. Same thing with the government officials, send them a market update. Oh, you can get the data you can get the information from Realist, but you can get the economic report from RPR. Listen, that's your number 6, RPR. So you can use Realtor's Property Resource. If you are a Realtor member, for those of you that aren't members and you just got access to the MLS, you know who you are totally missing out because you don't get that unless you have an NRDS number. Okay, so Realist. The other thing you can do in Realist, because you're going to mail, right? Send them your listings, do whatever you got to do. The other thing you can do in Realist that I think is better than Remind is I can go to Realist and I can choose a field. I can make custom searches or forms, and I can search for expireds. Now, let me just tell you, in Illinois, the bottom of the market was 2010, 11, 12, and 13 of all of our marketplaces. It'll be different in Naperville. It'll be different in Gurnee, it would be different in Joliet or Kankakee. Or in Chicago or in Forest Park. It's just different. But if you know the bottom of the market, in Realist, this is what agents don't know. And this is why you need to come to class I'll have access in a few days. But some of you, we're waiting for it in Illinois. It's coming, working out some things. In Realist, I can go look at the bottom of the market for everyone that had their property listed and it canceled or expired. Man, there is absolutely no reason why you can't generate a lead. None. No reason. So I gave you, social media. Let's do that, and then I'll do a quick review. And then social media. Oh, number 6, let me remind you about Cloud CMA. So Cloud CMA will be number 7. So RPR was number 6. You can get economic data. And then, oh, in RPR, you can get a mailing list. And then number 7, you can use Cloud CMA. And then click, if you have Cloud CMA, I use Cloud Attract. That's a tool where I can create a landing page for a buyer or a seller. And then Cloud CMA, even if you just have the landing page for what's my home worth, because right now that's what we need. We need listing leads, right? So Cloud CMA, I can add that to my link tree. I can add Cloud CMA to a direct mail piece. I could add Cloud CMA to the post all of you are going to make today. All of you today, there's a few things I'm going to make you do at the end. All of you today, you could at least add posts to social media. Click to find out what your home is worth. Write this down. Someone type it in the feed for me. If you are in, well, I mean, I'm typing down realist is coming back to Illinois. It's coming. Don't call our MLS and say when. It's coming. Maybe June, July. So I'm going to give you some things to do today. All right. Here's a recap, then Q&A, and then I got to get out of here. So number 1, your sphere of influence. All of you should be building your database, your sphere of influence. Oh, let me give you the tips. Let me go back because I said I want you to write this down. This is what I want you to do today. I want you to post on Cloud CMA, but whether it's not Cloud CMA, it's if you're going to use Google. This is what I want you to do. I want you to write this down. There are 3 tools, more than 3. Some of you can give me tips in the feed if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram. There are 3 tools that give you photos that you can use from aspiring photographers. You cannot Google images and use those images. You cannot use images from another agent's photo, just so you know. You cannot. It is a violation of the MLS rules, and it's a code of ethics violation, and it's a violation of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act if you Google images and use them. You cannot use Harry and Meghan. You can't. It's not funny. You can't. You cannot. You got to get permission. So Unsplash, Unsplash, SPLASH, Unsplash is a website where you can get photos. Number 2, you could use Pexels, PEXLS, Pexels. And then number 3, you could use Pixabay. And I think Pixabay bought Unsplash, and you can choose to support those aspiring photographers with a cup of coffee, meaning you can donate to their cause. So you could do that. So when I say that, if you're using Google Forms or if you're making a post and you don't have any content, you could use those images, or you could simply go to Canva. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Dee. Okay, so you could use those 3 tools to create for your content if you post. All right, now if you're in Illinois, just know we have our own landing page in our MLS and you'll get an email. So let's review. Here we go. Number 1, if anyone wants to type this in the chat, feel free. Number 1, your sphere of influence. Number 1 is your sphere. You need to keep updating your sphere, and you need to mail to your sphere. I recommend monthly at least. Number 2, all of you should leverage your multiple listing service, MLS. That's what you need to do. And then and this is under number 2. Number 2, you need to target canceled and expireds, look at the hot sheet, and consider residential renters or rentals, because we can make those people buyers. Yes. And then I had another one and I didn't write it down. There was a D. We could download that list. Oh, the D was, you could download that list. And then if you have listings, whether it's Remine or residential rentals, you can mail. You could mail every single month, at least 7, there was like 8. Number 3, Remine, real estate data mining. Why? Because I can look for properties where people are likely to sell. I can look for properties that are paid off. I can mail to my listings. Here we go. I'm going to make it up. We've got the coming soon for Remine. We've got the exclusive preview. We've got the just listed. We've got the open house, right? We've got the under contract. Oh, went under contract, but we have people that still need to move to this area. We've got just sold. We've got the market data. There's like 8. We could keep going, I think. And then you just keep mailing to that subdivision, because now you now have a footprint in that area. So you can maybe start doing a newsletter. That could be 9. Number 4, home snap, use likely to list, get out those handwritten note cards. You could do that today. You could do that today. Number 5, realist, because in realist, I can go target people that listed their homes in the bottom of the market and they never came back, cancels and expires. Here we go. Now there's so much more to realist, but that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Number 6, RPR, because you can get economic data. Oh yeah, in realist, I could also get the addresses to the schools. I could get the addresses to the government facilities, and I can mail and I can get the economic data from RPR. But in RPR, you can also get a mailing list. And then number 7 was Cloud CMA. You can use your Cloud CMA landing page. And then I would also say, if you don't have a landing page, you could also use Google Forms. You could. All right. So here's my homework. I want you to pick one. But if I were to tell you exactly what to do, because some of you need me to tell you exactly what to do, I need all of you to go look for cancels and expireds. If there are none, that's okay. But if you find one, I want you to send a handwritten note card. Here it is. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, I see, or whoever the person's name is, dear whoever, I see your home is no longer being actively marketed. When you decide to interview new agents, I would love to be considered. So we're about 50 minutes in, so you can pause it, scroll after you watch the replay. You could send a handwritten note. I want everyone, number 2, I want all of you to go post on social media today, reminding people you are in the business of real estate. If you don't have a great photo, go sit by the window. At least face the window. Go set the timer on your mobile device. Use the portrait mode. If you have a Samsung Droid, I think those photos look great. You might want a ring light, but if you don't, go sit in front of the window. Go take a really nice photo and, put on a cute t-shirt. Go do what you got to do. Go put on a blazer. Something, whatever you got to do, and take a photo. And you might even do this and point up, and then you could put some text on there and just say, don't forget, I'm never too busy for your referral. Shout out to Brian Buffini, right? Like, what could you do to get people to remember you're in the business of real estate? And then you could use your landing page. You could use Google Forms. You could use Cloud CMA. If I could get you to just do that, so cancels and expireds every day. But if I could get you to pick a day, pick one day a week to remind people you're in the business of real estate, you can come up with fun slogans. You could do this. You could do this. You could do this. You could do this. Like, you could come up with ways to just get creative. Or you could just go tell people, like, do a video. Be you, be yourself. Be yourself. If you need a filter, go record it in Instagram or Snapchat, because we've got filters. Do you add your business card to the letter? You can. Why not, Shopani? I say, why not? Oh, let me say this. If I do a handwritten note, I would definitely add my business card. I might go get little stickers and stick it at the top of the handwritten note, so when it opens, it doesn't fly out. I might even go get a lifesaver that's packaged and put it in. And I might say, dear Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm your lifesaver. Package lifesaver, kind of fun. Makes your envelope a little thicker. And by the way, for those of you that think you should mail and not put the company information on the envelope, you have to put the company information on the envelope. I don't care if it's on the back or the front, you still have to have your company information. You can't be deceitful in your marketing. And yeah, and just as another tip, anyone see We Don't Talk About Bruno? We don't talk about Zillow, Redfin, brokerages, Coldwell Banker. We don't talk negatively about any companies, because Zillow is a real estate firm. Redfin is a real estate firm. Coldwell Banker is EXP, Exit. They're all real estate firms. So for those of you that do these awesome reels, this is just the bonus of the day. And you say, we're not calling them. Guess what? It is an antitrust violation. And you may not know this, but it is not covered in your errors and omission. Go take that post down. All right, I digress. Okay, so, and for those of you that do not, and I'm going to do Q&A, for those of you that do not have the new real estate agent journal, it's not just for new agents. You could just buy it and give it away if you want. But I do have some nice sections in here. At the beginning, I asked you why you got into the business of real estate. For some of you, it was just to go to Disney World. For some of you, it was because because we made it look easy. For some of you, it was just because, you wanted a Louis Vuitton. For some of you, you wanted a Porsche. Right? And you thought this is what we do all day. Why did you get into real estate? For me, I got into real estate because I thought I could do it better than I thought I could help people better than, and I can't say how I was helped, but I felt like that there was a communication gap. Now, my real estate agent was awesome, but I didn't know I could buy until I closed. So I was convinced that I could do a better job. And think about it. Now I'm teaching all of you. And then if you look at my, if you're in the index page, I also tell you which sections to jump to, like be reflective. And then there is no inbox in real estate, which is today, page 60. Always be learning. You're running a business, take it seriously, be out your authentic you, and then, let's collaborate. You can also join the agent journey, but if you don't want to join the agent journey, you could also invest in one of my classes. And I'm trying to do one once a month. I need Elizabeth. Yeah, on Amazon. And I also have the Socially Savvy Agent to help you think about your content. And I'm working on, and I already started your 90 days of reels, 90 days of TikToks. I started, so it's coming. Oh, I love my friends over here on Facebook. They told you all what to do too. So Janine, thank you. All right, so let's do Q&A. If you have questions on Facebook, type them in the feed and I'll see those. Here we go. What program can I use to get free downloads that can automatically be sent? Now, if you are in the agent journey, I don't know if I did the class, but I'll write that down. How to create a Google form and have a free download, because you can do this all for free. Or I do have a course that I have not taken down, and it is on www.smartgirluniversity.com, not an accredited university. It's just a website where I show you how to do this. So Raven, great question, because you can do all of this in Google and it's a free automatic giveaway. Kind of cool. It could be done. So watch that video, and it's less than 30 minutes. Let's see. Can you repeat the letter script for likely to list? I mean, you just be you, right? Dear homeowner, I see, dear homeowner, I'm your lifesaver. When you decide to interview new agents, I would love to be considered. Like, my hair is like, I need someone to come flat iron this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, I see your home is no longer being actively marketed. When you decide to interview new agents, I'd love to be a part of the process. Sign my name, write my phone number, call, text, email, put my business card at the top. There you go. There's enough business for all of us. And here's what I know. A few of you are going to do the work. Let's see. What is the best time and day to post on Instagram? It depends on you. So here, let me tell you, we all have done the research. We all think we know the best time. It depends on you. Now, notice it's 9 a.m. And I've had up to 85 of you watching today. Do we need a photo yet? Anyone? Carrie photo? This is what I notice, is that I get a lot of engagement at 8 o'clock at night. And when I posted, highest and best is not a thing, I posted it later in the day. Highest and best is not a thing. You don't have to call for highest and best. The sellers don't have to call for it. And buyers agents don't need to assume that a listing agent has to call for highest and best. They do not. It is seller direction. The seller can say, we have multiple offers, and it could be in the broker remarks, the agent remarks on the MLS. And then the seller could say, we are going to look at all offers on Monday. The seller could also say, we have multiple offers. We're reviewing them as we come in. The seller could say, cut off the showings. I'm done. You get 100 people through your house and you could be fed up. A seller could also get one offer, and it could be at asking price cash, and be like, take it. I want to be done, because they got what they wanted. Sometimes we think that we had an agent once say that we didn't represent the seller well because we didn't take the highest offer. But what that agent may not have known is maybe the property didn't appraise. So you could have a property listed at 100, have 5 people write offers, and they come in at 130, and then you take the highest offer at 130. No one wanted to do an appraisal gap, but you now had to sell it at 120. And then it closes and you're pissed. Take a second, because it may have had to close that way. It could have been that you had issues with the foundation, and they're like, we'll deal with the issues. We'll just give us $10,000 credit. Like, these are things that people don't know. So I learned posting as I got sidetracked, right? That this is what I know. Next generation, or people that are off work, they look, first of all, 8 o'clock at night might be an ideal time to post. It might be an ideal time, but you will definitely go look at your traction. First of all, if you're posting and not getting any engagement, go call your friends and family and tell them they need to comment with 5 words, and tell them don't be negative. Like, you need some help. But if you're posting content that people aren't engaging with, you got to figure it out. I'm not saying you should swim in a pool and show your butt, although that did get me 2 million views. I'm not recommending it. It did. And somebody called me a seal, a whale, and I was fat. And I was like, I'm just not going to comment because, I'm 51, whatever. Get a life and go get some followers. My point is you will eventually figure it out. But you got to know if you're not getting engagement, you got to fix it. So there you go. Go look at Pinterest. There's some great articles on Pinterest. And you guys, I got to get out of here. Let's see. I might have to look at that one differently. So best way to market a hoarder house. I'm setting up the postcards, but only with the picture of the outside. Tara, get permission to get all the photos of the inside. This house was meant for those with a vision. Ask the seller what they don't want to do. Say, okay, seller, if I can get someone to buy your house and buy all the dumpsters, what do you think? Could they come up with, first of all, I would love, you got to show us the worst, show it to us, and then tell the seller, I need to market if you're in my market or you're in Houston, like, do you have a private listing? Like, I would put that property in the private listing network, show it and say, listen, the seller is working on getting the house cleaned up. But if you want to get in and buy it before we get all the stuff out, we're looking for the best offer. Like, to me, that's what I would do. It's kind of like having a house with no backyard. I would, I would definitely, like, no backyard, never cut grass again. Like, it's all in, you got to figure out how to market the house, but show me the truth. And I would definitely put that listing in a private listing network just for that reason. What program? I think I got that one. I got that one. I got that one. Can you repeat the script? I did that one. What is the best time? Well, I think I got one more. Did you? Did you take a course for Florida test or just use a study guide? I took a course, and I think that the company is My Real Estate Tutor. My Real Estate Tutor. Tell them Mark and Carrie sent you. For those of you that are listening to me on Facebook, thank you so much. If you have questions, type them in the feed. I'm out. And then for those of you on Instagram, I really appreciate you joining me, but I got to hop off. I'm in Georgia. Yes, the house is perfect for an investor. Write it out, talk to your managing broker or the broker owner and ask them what they think. But please, tell the seller what they could get if they cleaned it, or how can we market it? Because my husband will say, leave all the stuff, I'll get it out. Leave it on. Leave it on. Or think of the companies that could come in and give them an estimate, or just go get an estimate from the junk companies and then let them tell you, we've already figured out how much it'll cost to get this out, and the seller is willing to give you a credit for this, or write a check directly to the company, come buy the house. Show us the truth. For those of you that have an ugly house, I get it. Here it is. This is all for you. All right, we need one more photo, right? All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, everyone. Have a great weekend. Watch for my posts because I think I need to show you the Google form again and Home Snap. See you later. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Janine. Bye-bye. Favorite lead generation tools for the real estate industry.